The economic crisis of 2008 was only a speed bump on the way to the main event.
So you have a $10,000 price target for gold.
Yes.
Can you tell me what your thesis is for that?
Yeah, I think it's important to understand it's not a made-up number, a number I throw out there just to get attention. It's actually the implied non-deflationary price of gold in a system where you have either a gold standard or some reference to gold. Now, there's not a central bank in the world that wants a gold standard, but they may have to go to it, not because they want to, but because they have to, just to restore confidence in some kind of future financial crisis. The problem right now is central banks have not normalized their balance sheets since 2009. They're trying, but they're nowhere close. If you had another crisis tomorrow and you had to, do QE4, QE5, how could you do that when you're already at $4 trillion?
Let's talk about gold for a minute, because many people ask us, as I'm sure many other financial websites, should I be buying gold?
Right now we are at 1161. We're down a little bit. Now, earlier this week on this program, I asked Donald Trump if he liked gold as an investment. Watch this.
It's something that I used to look at very strongly, but somehow I guess we are off the gold standard for keeps, and it looks like we don't go back. But gold used to be something I used to like, but I have not bought gold now.
Trump used to like it. He has not bought gold recently. We're off the gold standard for keeps, he says.
I think about what happened in 1933 when if you turned in an ounce of gold, you got 20 Federal Reserve notes that are worth 2 Federal Reserve notes now. If you kept your gold and turned it into today, you would get 1,170 Federal Reserve notes. That's what counts.
Hello, hello, hello. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show, the good news and bad news about money. So anyway, welcome to the Rich Dad Radio Show. We have a very exciting show for you today. I'm going to talk to you about the greatest investment opportunity you will see today. Not tomorrow, but today. Now, don't take my word for it, because we at Rich Dad don't give investment advice. I will tell you, though, that I have been a buyer, but I've been a buyer for a long time. Now, the good thing about this investment is most of the stuff that we or Rich Dad talks about, the average person cannot do. That's the problem. You have to have financial education. And most people want a tip, but they don't want to be educated. But this investment, everybody throughout the world can do and can afford. Like when I borrow $300 million, which happened to me after the 2008 crash because interest rates dropped. Gold is real money. It's God's money. In Fake, I cover the fact that, there's God's money, which is gold and silver, but there's also currency or fiat currency, what I call government money, and that's as fake as it comes. Why anybody works for it or saves it, I don't know.
All right, guys. You guys probably saw a montage of videos of people talking about gold and silver. Now, the reason I put that on there is so you guys can get some insight. But at the same time, those are some people who probably have tons and tons of money. And you're probably on YouTube one day and you see a couple of videos like those and they're like, yeah, man, silver, gold, precious metals, that's where it's at right now. That's where we need to invest our money. That's where we need to put our money into, because in the future, it's gonna be the best thing on earth. But what happens with a lot of people who actually start buying and investing in gold and doing all that, they'll buy into it because of high profile people saying, hey, we need to buy gold, you guys need to buy silver. But what happens within the 5 years? Let's say, I'm not saying that they're giving bad information, because I say the same thing too. What I'm saying is, what mind frame are you in when you're taking that information? If somebody say right now, hey, you need to buy gold because it's gonna skyrocket, but didn't say when it's gonna skyrocket, you just put a image of a date in your head that you have no idea. But if the prices stay the same for a whole 2, 3, 4, 5 years, maybe nothing happens. In your mind, you'd be like, oh, okay, nothing happens, all right, cool. It's still gonna go up in value. If anything, I'll save money. But what happens if the same 3 months, the same year, precious metals just take a nosedive, which it did? What happens? Now in your mind, like, oh man, I was wrong. I gotta sell. I gotta sell. Oh man, silver's not a good investment. Silver's not a good investment. And then 3 years from then, silver just skyrocket. Oh man, why did I sell my precious metal? I should have listened. All right, let's start buying. Let's start buying. Let's start buying. Let's start buying. But now it's at its high, and then it drops down. Oh man, let me sell. Let me sell. Let me sell. You know what? I'm just gonna stay away from precious metals. I'm not gonna look at it no more. I've seen this tons of times in the stock market. Tons of times. As a matter of fact, when it comes to the stock market, it happens to me tons of times. Until I did a brain shift. I don't buy stock because I think it's going up. I don't buy stock because it's going up. I buy stock because I believe in the company. So when it comes to precious metals, if you hear Robert Kiyosaki or anybody who's well known talk about gold and silver saying, hey, you should buy it now. Even me myself, if you watch my channel on a regular and I'm saying, hey, you should buy silver now, you should buy silver now, which I technically don't say, and I always say, hey, I'm not an expert. You guys should do your own research and make up your own decision. It's an investment. Don't just buy in the hopes of, hey, next week it's gonna go all the way up. Matter of fact, don't just buy, especially precious metals. Don't buy expecting it to go up anytime soon. Just buy because you believe that it's gonna work. Therefore, you believed it. It's not that you listened to all the hype about it, and when you come up to your decision, or let's say it tanks like it did within the past month, you're not like, oh, you know what? It's because I listened to that Eli Van Bastian guy, or it's because I listened to that dreadhead guy on Urban Lifestyle, or I listened to Robert Kiyosaki, or I watched Kitco News and I just said, hey, I want to buy. See, when I got into precious metals, I did not know nothing about it, which is right here. I didn't know nothing. I got into it because I knew there was value there. I didn't know Robert Kiyosaki said invest into it. I didn't know there was such a thing as Kitco. I didn't know about Atmex. I didn't know nothing about it. I just know, hey, it has value. And I don't think money is where it's at. Having money is not where it's at. Because I'm always hearing stories where you could buy a slice of bread back in 50 years ago with 10 cents, but now it takes $5 to buy a loaf of bread. What's going on with the dollar? If they can just print it out like that, what's the real value of the dollar? So I brought gold instead. I brought silver instead. Matter of fact, I went and brought gold because I didn't know nothing about silver. I knew about it once I started putting it on this YouTube platform right here, and I saw a lot of people talking about it. And I was like, hey, there's more to be known about this metal. I need to understand it more. I need to do more research and come up with my own conclusion. And then I just brought it a little bit more and more and more and more until the point where you see where we are now. Second thing is, I did not buy to make cash. I didn't buy precious metals to say, hey man, you know what? I'm gonna get money out of this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. All that came later. It's still right now, I'm not in it to make money. I'm in it to preserve my wealth. And that was the whole thing. I was like, hey, if anything happens to the dollar, when I first started, if anything happens to the dollar, I'm backed up by something. Something that's been around for a long time. Invest, not to save. I always wanted to invest. Always wanted to invest. I was a firm believer of, hey, I'm a boss. Yeah, I'm the boss. And I need employees. Not real employees, but I need my money to work for me. And at the time, I said, hey, let me put it into precious metals and other stuff. And that's what I wanted to do. All right? So it was more to invest, not to save, because back then, when my mom's generation, my grandma, they could save and live off it until retirement. But these are not the times right now. I was like, hey, I can't save this money because it's costing me money to save my money. Inflation is catching up. So I was like, hey, I need to have my money working for me. Let me buy precious metals, which is technically money at the end of the day, to work for me. Even though I really don't see precious metals as an investment, I morally see it as an insurance policy. I do tons and tons of stuff with my money. I invest into stocks. I invest into real estate. Well, I'm starting up to invest for real estate. I have a whole bunch of businesses that I'm running. But if anything goes south with the economy, because that's not something I control, I can only control 100% of what I can control, and the economy is not one of them. I decided to use gold and silver as my insurance because I've seen back in the recession how much gold, how much silver was. So if anything were to fall back, I want to make sure, hey, I have enough assets in gold and silver in case anything goes south. And that is the reason I am investing in precious metals. And I believe that's the reason everybody should invest in precious metal. Not because the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad says it's good to invest in precious metals. Nothing against Robert Kiyosaki. He's an amazing guy. And I've read tons of his books. And not to say nothing bad with all those people out there that's talking about gold and silver. I'm saying, hey, make your own choice. It's your mind. Don't go based off what we're saying. Hey, Robert Kiyosaki, he said that a piece of rock is going to be worth $1 million. You know what? I'm going to buy a piece of rock from now on. What's your history with the rock? I ain't talking about the one from wrestling. Based off your experience, based off your decision, based off your research. Not what other people saying. You come up to the decision. So what I'm saying is, I don't want no one ever, if gold goes down to $16, to say, oh, boo Robert Kiyosaki because he said do this and now it's down and no, come on. I don't want no one to say, oh man, Kitco or AppMex or such and such, they're the reason I lost all my wealth. Because honestly, if you want to know who's the reason for losing your wealth in a situation like that, come closer, let me tell you. All right, come here. I'm gonna show you who's the cause of you losing all your wealth. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe too.
That's why